So what they did to Jamie's drinks is no matter what level you're at, you'll always get some drive gauge if it has a drinking type function to it. So it includes the level 1, the level 2, but it seems to be like it's less than half of what you would get if you're at drink 4. So at 4 drinks, if you activate level 2, you get 3 bars of drive gauge back. But if you do it at 0 drinks, it gives you about... There's hair in the way. There's hair in the way. It gives you about a bar. Yeah, it gives you about a bar? Really? That's less than half. So, I mean, that's a third. Right? Holy math. So you get a third of what you would normally get. And I think that's true for everything else that Jamie does, which involves drinking. So let me rewind a little bit. So what happened to Jamie? Okay, Jamie will now regain some drive whenever he performs a technique that increases his drink level, even when he's not at drink level 4. I think it's about a third of what you would normally get. This will make it easier for him to fight at the beginning of a round while also letting him manage his drive gauge. This is probably a rough translation, because when you're at 0 drinks, you're dry. Like, it's not until you get that first drink that you get some kind of refund back. And you don't really... It's not really about the one time that you drink. It's about the sum of all the drinks that you get. So if I do the math right, you probably get a third of a bar for most of the things you do when you drink. And I think it's about a third even when you drink just in neutral, right? Probably going to be about a third. It's very little. But I think it'll be about a third, because I believe this gives you half. It's probably going to be a... Man, I got to do math. 1/2. What's 1/3 of 1/2? 1/6, right? So you should get 1/6 of a bar whenever you do a drink in neutral. It's probably something like that. But it's about the summation of all the drinks you get. So it's probably going to be, what it'll probably end up being is you'll get about a bar, bar and a half, 2 bars more total with Jamie as you're playing, depending on how many drinks you get, how many different ways you get drinks. It also makes some things more rewarding, like in the corner, whenever you do OD drink, it costs, you know, a lot. Compared to if you get a clean hit with just a regular Rekka, see how much I get so much meter back for that now. This basically gives me 2 bars back. Pretty much 2 bars. And the OD Rekka will still spend 2, but it'll at least refund half, so it's a bar and a half. So yeah, it's really gonna be more about all the bar or 2 more of drive gauges that you get during a round, which is tremendously helpful. It means usually I take pauses in neutral with Jamie so I can regain my meter back. And that's because I have to spend a lot of meter just to get a drink. You do 1 stand medium kick, hit confirm, you know, you put them in the corner, boom. You get 1/8 of a drive gauge back. No, hold on. 1/6? What is the math? Half should give you, when you're in drink 4, it gives you 1 bar. So it should give you a third. It should give you a third back whenever you drink. Most of these give you a third. A third of a bar, including super. Boop. Yep, about a third. Yep, that's pretty much all there is to it. So when you can combine this too. So I posted this on Twitter. When you activate level 2, it now gives you 1 bar back. But after this, nothing's changed. It's because you're drink 4. It's not going to give you more drinks than you used to. So when I do like this, and it combos, and you drink again, oh, I need less meter. This is pretty much doing the same thing, but it's giving you 1 extra bar. And it's not giving you Oki either. So it's pretty much the same thing. The other buff Jamie got was the jump heavy kick. And this was in the beta. Jamie already had this. They just reverted it back. Changed to a blow back knockdown. Why do they gotta use this word? Basically, you don't need counter hit anymore. So if they jump, this is better now. And a lot of times you can just connect down heavy kick. Sometimes you can get palm. Oh, this is a good buff too. Oh, it's still not the best. They made it more consistent. They made it more consistent, but it still can whiff. The level 3 is more likely to hit airborne opponents when you do like palm. Maybe this will work. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked. That probably wouldn't have worked before. So now you don't need counter hit. This is kind of nice because it's been a lot of times where I air somebody, but I'm not able to juggle because I don't get a counter hit or punish counter state. So that's nice. And this, I had to play it out to see how much of an adjustment this is. This might actually be his biggest buff. Reduce the hurt box on the front legs during the attack startup. During the startup. So I can probably go over here and look at what it currently is, and we can get an idea of where their hurt box might be. Because I mean, less could mean just like a few pixels. We don't really know unless somebody has the hit boxes up. But I can say that my forward heavy kick gets hit a lot. So depending on how significantly they reduce this, this could be a absolutely monstrous buff. Because this is Jamie's highest rewarding, highest efficiency move in neutral. So if they, like, for example, if they removed this extended hurt box, if they just removed this, or if they reduced it, like shaved it a little bit, shaved some of that off a little bit, which I doubt they did. It could even be this part. If they just got rid of that part, it's kind of weird how it disappears like that. If they just remove that part, it's still going to have an impact, but it's really these portions right here that get counter hit quite often. So just got to see it. Yep. This could be a massive, massive, massive buff because, you know, stand heavy kick leads to so much. Like stand medium kick, dry rush, and then this whole thing is really nice, but it costs a lot. And actually, in terms of drive gauge, it costs less now because you refund a third back. I'll take it. 1/3 of a drive bar is 3 bars, right? If you have a third of a, you know what I'm saying? If you have a third of a gauge, that means you can do a drive rush. You can do a drive rush cancel. So it really adds up. But now, if this is actually buffed really well, hard, awkward. Those two words don't combine well. Yeah. So it's a little bit better. But your ability to land it more, probably going to be great. But if you were, like, let's say this move were going to get counter hit, that likely means, maybe, not always, that you were going to counter hit them and not get the punish counter. And when you counter hit heavy kick, it's not really that, it really don't mean a whole lot. It's really not a big significant change, but what is a big change is the difference between getting counter hit and you counter hitting or punish countering them. So this might be, after some field testing, this might actually be his biggest buff because it saves you so much on drive gauge. Oh, they made the headbutt portion of this have more distance in drink 4. It's a little gimmicky, I think, but it's cool. It's a lot more. It could make it a gimmicky sort of neutral approach where you hit forward heavy kick and maybe they try to whiff punish it. They try to whiff punish it and then you hit them with the headbutt because you move backwards a little bit and you have more distance to actually do that. And of course you can do things like boom, 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 meaty DI, all that sort of fun stuff. So it makes it a little bit better, but your opponents are going to jump at you and win the game. They're just going to hold up forward. That's how that works. Overdrive free flow strikes. This is the Rekka, and it's 4 juggles, it looks like. Increased blowback time when the first attack at drink level 4 hits. When the first attack. I wonder if that means both of the hits, because this is level 4 hits twice. It was made to mitigate instances where the super art would not combo. So on top of making that more consistent, which is combo you don't really use that much. On top of making that more consistent, they buffed level 3. I think they made it so it has a higher hitbox. So you're less likely to drop combos that you barely ever use. like this one, if you do it too high, it used to whiff. Let me go ahead and just... This might have whiffed before, and now it's more consistent to hit, but that doesn't mean it's always going to hit airborne opponents like I showed before. Crouching heavy kick reduced the pushback on block when only the second attack is blocked. So that means if you whiff the first portion of it and they block the second, they'll be closer. And how does this really matter? Like right about, nope, right there. So this is minus 11. If you were having trouble punishing that, kinda sucks. But it should be closer than what it used to be. I used to do this. This is the second time they nerfed his crouching heavy kick. And I used to use it before the nerf against characters like DJ and Honda. Partly because those characters have great mid-range, really good mid-range, and I needed something to contest it. And, you know, sweep would get the job done. But not only that, it was difficult for those characters to punish it. DJ had to use level 1. Honda had to use level 1. But now, I don't even do that anymore because it's easier to punish. And now it's even easier to punish. So I just use it to whiff punish now. Use the boomer maneuvers and reaction Jackson. If they whiff something, you still sweep it. So this nerf is probably bad for bad Jamie players. But overall, this is just get better. It's not. Just use it to whiff punish stuff, you know? It'll be all right. And what's likely to happen is people will replace their crouching heavy kick with standing heavy kick. If the hurt box is really drastically improved, people can just hit this attack. This is good. You know, mid-range, you got this one, you got this one, you got this mid-range poke known as a dive kick that you mess up. Why didn't they fix that, man? Why didn't they fix dive kicks not coming out? That would have been nice. Anyways, so I think he's gotten some really good buffs. It should make the transition to drink 3 to drink 4 much easier because you have a lot more drive. Well, you have more drive gauge to spare, so it speeds up. It can speed up your gameplay, which may result in having more drinks. And the standing heavy kick buff could also aid in that. If you hit more standing heavy kicks, it's like the best thing you can do with Jamie in neutral. If you get a punish counter stand heavy kick, doing great. And that also synergizes with the first buff because that combo may result in a drink, corner carry, Oki, and drive gauge now. Even if it's just a little bit. The third. But still good. That's pretty much it. And then, of course, I think the hidden... Not so hidden. It's not like a secret or anything. But now when you do level 2, you always get something back. And that's pretty helpful. So let's see actually what this looks like in Burnout. I bet it's probably not going to be that much. Standard. So I do level 2, but I want to be at not 4 drinks. Well, actually, you can see at 4 drinks. People still don't know this. When you're at 4 drinks, you get... What they buffed him to do is what already happened at 4 drinks, except it's less. So when you drink to level 2, when you use level 2 to drink, when you're at drink 4, you can pretty much take yourself out of Burnout if you do a combo that ends in a drink. And there's some other stuff you can do that's even better than that, but you just recover Burnout. But now, if you're not at drink 4, you'll still get a decent chunk back. Standard. So now in Burnout, let's see what happens if I do something similar to that. That's still really good. That's nearly the whole thing back. It's pretty much the same thing. And I think you can even do like this. Yeah, you're almost back. Pretty much almost back. Cool. So, and because of that, you get out of Burnout faster. And when you get back into your regular drive gauge mode, you're getting drive gauge back. So I think it means you might be able to throw in some Noah the Prodigy type gameplay with Jamie, which is something I experimented with quite, like, again, in some matchups, like Bison. I think it's pretty good to play like an idiot like that. Didn't mean to say it like that, but you know, say it's kind of degenerate. But you're just gonna get a lot more drive gauge back, which means you could have a round where you intentionally go into Burnout, recover your Burnout, intentionally go into Burnout, recover your Burnout, and then you just command grab them and win, you know? So we could see some absolutely degenerate rounds from Jamie. And just to sum it up, his ability to scale up has drastically ramped up. Maybe. I still got to play it out and see if it really works in, field test it. But he should be more well-rounded. However, Drink Zero Jamie is still the worst character in the game. But he's going to curve much better because of the buffs he got. Cool. Like the video. Tell me what you think in the comments below. My dad bod is being destroyed. You see that? You see that? I'm gonna cut that out though. All right, that's what I got for Jamie.